participate on this panel, and we'll shed some great insights. And it was interesting when you said it was a bit cold here today. I had. Anyways, please welcome Colin Davison.
Thank you very much for the invitation to be here today. It's a pleasure to get together on such an important topic here moving into our economy this year. It's sort of an interesting date in our company's time. March 2nd, 2006, our company consisted of, it was actually the first day we hired our first employee. It was 3 years ago today. So 3 years ago today, we were one employee in the basement of my house in Calgary, and today we employ over 80 people. We have 2 facilities in Calgary. We have a facility in Denver, Colorado. We've packaged and produced products for Canada, the U.S., Russia, Peru, Australia. Currently, we have products, a lot of products going into Canada and Russia. We have successful partnerships with Siemens Canada, Suncor Energy, companies like Warwick Parsons, TELUS, Finning Power Systems, Watrous Power Systems, Encana, Quicksilver Resources. So we have some experience in dealing with, in creating successful partnerships with large organizations. And I look forward to being here today. A little bit about our company. We essentially design and engineer products for both acoustical and emission control, so legislative requirements for large companies, towns and cities to meet either noise bylaws or emission control. Thanks very much.
Well, thank you, Colin, and look forward to, there's a few questions that are coming forward to you on that deal with Siemens in particular. And our next panelist is Tony Lacavera from Globalive Communications. He's the chairman and CEO, and I'm pleased to present him. We all are getting a pretty good amount of press of late, and we look forward to you guys coming in on the spectrum. I think it's fall, right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the introduction and the invitation as well. I'm excited to be here. Certainly very interesting times in our economy, and I can speak to our experiences in that today if anyone is interested. But a little bit about our company. I founded the company 10 years ago. It's a telecom service provider, operates nationally here in Canada. We sell to consumers in Canada under the Communications brand, which sells long-distance home phone and internet services to almost 1 million Canadians now across the country, pretty much evenly distributed by population, so we've got good visibility into every province and territory. The business sells to small businesses as well, small to medium businesses. We have over 5,000 small to medium business customers across the country, and have built that business up from zero in 1998. When we founded the company in 1998, we started our business division in 2000. So really got the exposure to dealing with a number of different small businesses in a number of different industries. In our business, every business requires a phone and an internet connection to operate. So we have, I think, a pretty unique perspective on dealing with businesses in all different industries, all different sizes and configurations, from international conglomerates right down to 1- and 2-person small office, home office businesses. So that kind of perspective, I'd be happy to share with everyone today and some of the insights we've gained. I think our business has a great opportunity to grow in the wireless industry in Canada. Last year, the Government of Canada issued new wireless frequencies, and we were successful at acquiring a national license with the exception of Quebec. And we'll be launching wireless services to compete with the Big 3 here in Canada, starting late part of this year, early next year. So we're very excited about that, and be happy to take any business cards today. And I'll certainly follow up with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Our next panelist is Conrad Mandala, Vice President at SAP, who's also a sponsor of the event. Please welcome Conrad.
Well, thank you and good afternoon, and Stefan, thank you for the invitation. Minister and my fellow panel members, it's a pleasure to be here today. I spend a lot of time in my role in North America in our SME practice, and I have the great pleasure of talking to some of the fastest and most progressive companies in North America. It really is quite exciting. Now, for those of you who don't know too much about SAP, we are a business enterprise software manufacturer. We are the leading provider there for both the small and our large customer base. And our objective is to make as many customers into best-run businesses as we can and help them fulfill their goals. One of the most fulfilling aspects of what I do is just to witness the transition in the customer base that we engage with. we have some of the most forward-thinking people in the marketplace today, and many of them use technology as their primary lever for growth. And it enables them not only to compete in the marketplace, but more importantly to work successfully with many of the largest companies around the world. And I'll be happy to share some specific examples with all of you as we progress through the day today. I don't need to explain to everybody here the challenges that we're all facing. They are significant. And for SMEs, they're much different than they were 3 or 4 years ago. As a result, SAP and you yourselves have changed your business practices to address these new conditions. One of the key areas that we're seeing in the SME space today is the need to improve productivity and competitiveness, but also, and maybe most importantly, to think globally and to explore the opportunities outside of our borders. So when I use specific examples of customers who started as SMEs, I'll throw some names out for you. RIM started with us when they were an $80 million company and invested heavily in technology to leverage their growth. Spin Master, Securite, fashion retailer Aritzia, and many other successful companies all made those decisions early in the life cycle of their corporations to use technology as a primary lever. And today we see them as global competitors. And to watch that transformation has been absolutely exciting. Apart from the great vision and world-class innovation that these entrepreneurs brought to the marketplace, the technology has enabled them to grow very successfully. And so, regardless of what industry you're in, these customers have embraced technology to enable their innovation and growth, and frankly has been one of the major areas to help them to succeed. And I look forward to sharing those stories with you as we progress through the day today. Thanks very much.
Well, thank you, Conrad. Our next panelist, and he's been here before, and back on popular demand, is Rick Spence, again, a columnist, an SME columnist, and his feature is once a week or
every Monday.
Every Monday in the Financial Post. Please welcome Rick Spence.
Thank you, Stephen. I think it's a really exciting topic. How a small business does business with a big business is really the acid test for any business, and it requires a lot of effort and work that you can get away with for a while not doing. But if you're going to sell to small and big business, then you have to become a lot more sophisticated. It's basically the dreaded 3 Ps of preparation, process, and patience for any small business as they learn to deal with bigger companies. If you can do that, then you do have an opening to become a successful and sustainable business once you have big companies dependent on you and contracts. But getting there isn't always easy, because when you start selling to bigger businesses, suddenly you lose actually a lot of control over your own business. You have to do things the way your customers want them done. You have to work at their pace, whether it's a snail's pace or the speed of light. You have to adapt to that. You have to adapt your paperwork. You have to enmesh and integrate your systems. You have to do an awful lot of work. You have to upgrade your sales staff to make sure that they're sophisticated enough to deal with the people that they're dealing with at various levels and various departments within the big customer organizations. And generally, you have to change the process and expand your own sales process so that you've got redundant relationships, extra relationships, a wider bandwidth to make sure that you're in tune with everything that your customer's thinking and aware if things are going off the rails at all. And the other thing that entrepreneurs sometimes forget is they chase those elusive big contracts that everybody wants. Getting that contract can be a killer, because suddenly you have to gear up, you have to meet quality demands, quantity demands, you've got to meet deadlines, and you may not be ready to do that. I've in my career as a business journalist going back 20 years, specializing in small business, I've talked to lots of companies that have gotten these contracts, only realize they have no way to fulfill them. And suddenly their reputation is on the line. They've got to beg, borrow, do whatever they can. They've got to finance the order. And these are things that they should have thought about before, and people were telling them about before, but they weren't listening. So it's very important to prepare. I just had 3 ideas about what a company needs to do before it goes out and actually solicits the big company contracts that could change the shape of the company. I guess the main thing is to make sure that you research this market intelligently. You know all about the customer. You know all about what they're looking for. You know all about how they work, who the decision makers are, what kind of payback they're looking for, so you're able to mesh perfectly with what they're doing